All right, hello again, everybody. It's been quite a good amount of time since I last streamed and our last D&D session. A lot of us were busy, and now is like the first time we've all been able to get together. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a good old recap of what happened last time. I know it's been quite some time since the last episode, so I want to make sure that we touch base on that, and then we're going to get right into it. Let me actually change the music. I have something else set up for that.
Nice.
All right. So, last time, our heroes faced against an insurmountable force. They destroyed the evil commander, Charlemagne. They did, even despite this though, they still bore witness to their true enemy, the final threat of this particular little part of our adventure, and the Devere is in waiting. It has been 6.5 days since the dragon made its promise to return to the people of Ilmater's grace for its due tribute and payment. Our heroes are now at Ilmater's Hope Fortress, discussing what to do next. Adventurers, I will go ahead and get us to the map you need to be at. And make sure to zoom in a little bit. Dynamic lighting is still on. And then, here we are. So you guys returned and you had about 8 orcs come with you. You did return with about 13 guards. Who were kidnapped. So those are extra units that you now have. I'm just actually going to go ahead and have these guys here. I wish that they weren't facing this way. Alright, and before you guys, you see Gillian, and he sees you guys enter, and we're just gonna have it that you guys are entering into the, into the fort now with the reinforcements. I just gotta do one more. Alright, and does anybody have anything? So Gillian looks over. Yeah, it seems you have returned. A bit battered up, but I'm glad you have returned, and I'm glad you've returned with such a force behind you. Things were growing desperate.
Things are quite desperate, but he had prisoners, and they were more than willing to aid our cause, so...
Indeed. We still have a good amount of the day left. We could start discussing what we must do before the dragon comes. Do you guys have any suggestions? Actually, let me open the door. I'll have these two. These two are going to walk out as well, and...
Yes, I don't believe there are any other forces that we need to deal with. It's just Andy Devere himself, no?
Indeed, Andy Devere and whatever remains of the Blue Sapphire Scar, the Sapphire Scar Knights. Which, if I'm correct, there aren't too many left, but it's still sizable enough to pose a decent threat to us.
Before we get into discussing plans and such, I would like to reintroduce myself now that the situation is less time pressing.
Hello, Ravi. How you doing?
Oh, please do. I was rather surprised at your venture with us, but you were quite effective in battle, sir. What is your name?
My name is Vincent. I am a... what should you call? A pharmacist. I make potions and poisons. I am quite well versed in a lot of things.
Quite nice. What sort of medicines do you
Well,
practice?
and any and all kind I can get my hand on. The more I know, the better my arsenal is. And he'll reach into his bag and pull out a strange-looking potion.
Of course,
This here, for example, is a healing potion of my own creation. It is just a standard healing potion, nothing special, but it is made by me.
Seems quite effective, if I do say so myself.
Yes.
Quite nice indeed, sir.
Say that again?
I said, quite nice indeed, sir.
Yes, yes. I use a heavy crossbow, as you have probably seen, and I use some special bolts. We'll take one out from his little bolt carrier thingy and show it to the group. It is made of a charred wood with a small glass container in it.
Really now?
Yes, yes.
Quite nice.
Yes. He'll walk over to... who seems the toughest out of the group? Who's most well armored?
That would be probably most likely Dargan.
Okay. He'll walk over to Darkin and then just stab the bolt into him.
Dargan, are you there?
Oh.
Dargan?
Oh no, he's not there. What a
Oh, he's
fucking-
muted. I guess he's having trouble with his mic.
He stabbed him so
Okay.
hard, he
That was him
died.
reacting to the bolt. Yeah, that was him reacting to the bolt.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's my reaction. I screamed.
Have you
in
been
his
trying to
face a little
talk
bit.
this entire time?
No.
Oh, okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, the bolt disintegrates and like becomes small pieces of charred wood.
Oh.
As you can see, and you can probably feel, Dragonborn, it does no damage. I filled them with whatever liquid, viscous ooze that I need, and it will apply on target. It is how I saved our strange comrade.
You see that he took on the form of his typical drow again, even though because before he was knocked out, he did revert back to his original form, but he consciously made the decision to switch back to his drow form.
Curious. I've read about shapeshifters before, but I've never actually met one. Then again, you look over to Cocutus. I've never actually met one of your kind either. What are you?
You mean Carquinos?
Yes.
I am an insector. Unfortunately, my
Interesting.
species has become incredibly rare.
Quite so. You wouldn't mind if I took a scale and a sample of your blood, would you?
I suppose not.
Why, thank you very much. He'll pick out a small carving knife from his bag, go over to Kakinos, and quick as hell, just flick off a scale.
Okay.
He'll put it in the bag, his bag, and then he'll pick out a glass vial. Let's see, do they actually tell me how much I can fit in these bad boys?
That is a good question.
1.5 pint of liquid.
Oh God.
Don't worry, I won't fill it up. You will probably need some of it.
Jesus Christ. 1.5 pints.
And he'll make a small incision where he already removed the scale. Just draining. I don't know what a pint is, but he'll drain like half a pint of liquid.
Okay.
Uh,
A pint is usually what I think that's pint. I think for context of science, let me just double check this. But if I'm correct, I think the normal human body only has.
Well, he's like 3 times the size of a regular human, so he should be fine.
Well, he's not 3 times the size. He's still humanoid. He's still he's a little bit bigger than you guys. He's like think of him like as if a Goliath size. How much? We have 5 liters in us, so 1 liter is about 1/5 of our total. So he would probably have let's say by estimates maybe 6 to 7.
I see.
Maybe.
But yeah.
We'll have to estimate that another time. I'm not gonna go into the specifications of it. You're only taking half anyway.
Yeah, I'll take like half a pint.
Okay.
Make sure to be careful with that. It is very hot and reactive.
Yep, and you see as it's going in there, you see steam and it's bubbling as it goes in there.
Oh, this is quite fascinating. I might have use for this. This is incredible. Why, thank you so very much for this. And he'll pour one of the healing potions he showed over the wound.
Thank you. I hope you used it well.
Spirit posted something funny.
My fault.
Actually, let me see if I can pull it up for everybody else to see really quick before we continue.
Anyway, what are the names of you folk?
Oh, I am Shaltan, the premier archer for our little group. As he does a proper bow and smile at our wonderful doctor fellow.
My name is Karkinos. I do my best to be our group's shield.
Good evening there. You may call me Spyra.
Very well.
Well, my name is Yargan. I am the apparent selected leader for this group.
I see. Very well then.
Janaz just shrugs and just states his name. Janaz. That's it.
Very good.
Well, I am truly glad that you have you have made acquaintances with each other. I'm surprised it wasn't done earlier, but I guess the urgency of the matter was relatively important to rush out the door before proper introductions were made. Now is a time to discuss what needs to be done in preparation for the dragon's arrival. You see Gillian and as 2 of the other council members walk over. I want to let you all know that I have no intentions of hiding inside of the keep, and I will be fighting alongside you, as well as the 2 with me. There might be others who might be willing to volunteer if you ask them. But just let us know what you want us. When it comes down to it, we'll
Who's speaking to us again?
Gillian. He's the leader of the whole.
Oh
Yeah.
Man. Ooh, he's gonna be coming with us in character. Oh, you'll be joining us. I mean, as valiant as that is, if you're put in any sort of danger, wouldn't that put the rest of the town at risk?
We have a council for a reason. If I die, another will take my place. That's why 2 will be remaining within the keep, prepped for evacuation if needed.
I see. And now that we've taken out Charlemagne's main forces and decimated their main camp, Do we know of any remaining Blue Scar revenants or Blue Scar soldiers who would be
Scout
assisting
reports.
Andy Vidir?
Scouts reports state that there's still about 40 of them, but they're not as organized, and realistically, the brunt of the they're not as well trained either. They might just be more fodder. That being said, it doesn't change the fact that there is still more of them than us.
Indeed, but nothing proper positioning and tactics can't fix, especially with our rowdy orcs here. As he gives one of the orcs a nudge on the shoulder and a smile.
Oh, you
Well,
know it,
effectively,
man. We got this shit.
They're quite effective in battle. I'm assuming if they help us bolster our troops that we have here, as well as the ones who want to assist us, I say we should be fine. We just need to figure out a way how to isolate that blue dragon.
Yes, indeed. I have never really dealt with a dragon in a hostile sense before, so this is a first for me, and many of us.
It is quite the experience, to say the least. I've never fought a dragon directly, but I've always seen them in the distance of the chaos and destruction they could cause.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Nurgle's blessings upon you.
So, allow me to tell you what we actually do have. We are going to be taking some of the knights into the keep to keep the citizens safe and be able, so that way we can maintain some order within the walls. There are at least 150 souls currently preoccupying this keep.
Of course, of course.
That's civilian lives, not including guards. So the available units are, well, we have the 13 guards there, as well as an additional 8, excuse me. An additional 8 that will be able to stay out with us. Then we have your orcs, you have myself, and these two. I am a paladin. She is a cleric, and my friend... well, actually, let me go ahead and give you the... because we haven't heard their names in a while. My Elizabeth here is a cleric of the Peace Domain, and Ilizar is a divine sorcerer. Yes. I would be more than happy to launch any spells needed at the dragon if it takes off at the flight, if we need extra ranged. And I will make sure to keep you all alive.
Thank you.
Yes, I was wondering about that. How we can keep the dragon grounded, that is.
We have ballista with dragon piercers. Basically, we only have a total of about 10 of those items. So right now they're loaded. Each of them are loaded up. We have enough for 2 for each ballista. If we can at least hit him with 2, it should be enough to anchor him down for at least enough time to get a few hits in before he decides he could possibly break out of them. Or we'll be forced to detach them so he doesn't destroy the ballista.
Would it be possible... As Sartan kind of thinks and strategizes thinking his plan, he goes over to Dargin and wants to ask about some advice and some possible consulting. Dargin.
Is it because I'm a dragonborn?
No, it's not because you're a dragonborn. I know quite enough about dragonborns, as you already know.
Dumbass.
But do you think it would be advisable to bring the battlements for the first incursion against the dragon, or perhaps set them up near his cave?
It would be quite risky to allow him to even approach here. But even more so if we were to.
His units are
Face him
scattered.
directly.
I'm sorry?
Even more so if we were to face him directly.
Indeed, which I do agree with, but with or without, it's kind of a risk-reward situation. We either fight him with the battlements, with our first encounter, and then approach him directly with the second, or perhaps save the battlements for the second encounter to ensure we can strike a finishing blow. It's rather
I do
discerning.
want to mention that moving all of these armaments might take us at least a couple of days, and if you're planning on having this be we follow him to the cave, we don't exactly know where he is, but even if we did, there's a possibility it could take us a couple of days, and by then he might have been fully healed up.
You're right. We're not certain of any things we can get away with in that regard. Perhaps
So if you
bringing the
want
battlements.
Yeah, if you want to do that, we would need more days, and that's not something we really have right now, unfortunately.
Yes, time is a luxury, unfortunately.
Excuse me, sorry. Last I was here, I asked one of the soldiers for the flower puppy, the puppy flower. Is that still something we have a lot of?
We have enough for you to procure at least 10 individual portions of any potion that you might need.
Very good. The puppy, when induced with magic as well, can produce a powerful sleeping agent. I could coat your ballistas in the sleeping agent, make it a bit easier for the second or third hit to land. It probably won't bring him to sleep completely, but at least will make him drowsy.
That might not be a bad idea. Again, we also have others that might. We also have, I know one of us seems to be eager to fight, but he isn't sure if he should stay behind or not. Tristan.
He'll likely be useful in any situation we place him in, but whether or not he's more indispensable here or with us is...
Quite the idea indeed.
Ow.
It's kind of hard to say what we can and can't do in this situation. Doggin, I'm sorry, my kind fellow, but I'd say this decision might lie upon you.
So then, if you want, let me give you the details on everything then, just so that way we understand everything we have and what we can use during this fight, and any inevitability, anything that we might need to compensate for if other items are destroyed or we need to fall back in any way, shape, or form.
Of course.
The castle is sturdy and strong, but it will not be able to withstand a dragon's attack for fairly long. If the dragon makes its way into the courtyard, people will start to evacuate, but moving 150 people will take time. And we have an underground tunnel system. If the dragon is able to destroy the fort before then, there could be a sizable amount of lives lost.
Can't have that.
But understand that it can take a beating. And there's a possibility that he might target it. Another thing as well is, as I said, I am a paladin. Let me actually get his actual stats here so that way I can tell you what kind of paladin he is. I'm a paladin of devotion. I have an aura around me within 10 feet that will basically make us immune to charm effects, to being charmed or terrified from the battlefield. So if you were to stay close to me, I will prevent any of the dragon's natural innate frightening abilities from affecting your hearts. But you will have to be close to me.
Of course.
As mentioned before, we have our sorcerer. I'm really terrible with names today. Of our sorcerer, Ilmater Belizar, the tiefling over here. He is capable of casting divine magics, but he's mostly an offensive caster. Where his support comes in, we've provided him with a staff of healing that has been specially attuned to him due to his divine bloodline, as well as prayer beads that will allow him to cast additional healing spells if needed. Yes, but I will be primarily staying towards the sides or away from the dragon to make sure that I am not, how you say, picked off. I am rather frail.
Of course, we don't want any of our healers to be in the front lines at all. If need be, of course.
And of course, there's myself, and I, as you know, I'm a cleric of the peace domain. I do have some offensive abilities, however, I will be probably staying towards the middle of the line, making sure that I'm as close to some of the more vulnerable members of our group.
Yes.
If we were to bring Tristan, he is a fighter of legendary renown. He's an eldritch knight. From what I understand, he's capable of casting minor magical spells to assist him in his melee combat.
Ah, you said Tristan is capable. Is that right?
Yes. As for our normal soldiers, most of them are knight trained. They are better than your average guards, the ones that will be staying out here. The average guards will be heading in and making sure that they will be keeping the rest of them safe. However, also hello Omega. Also, we will be making sure that they keep the civilians safe and calm in the eventuality the dragon decides to attack the keep itself.
Yes.
We have the 13 you brought back, the 8 that will be staying out in the front to man the siege machines. We have a total of 5 ballista. Each of them have one loaded dragon piercer. The other is on backup and in a crate towards the walls here and here. I'm not gonna put them there. I'm just gonna say they're there. I'll actually I'll put a box there when it's important. We have catapults prepared for any infantry, and we also have your 8 orcs. Something of importance to mention, though, is that they have, and Vidir will probably be organizing enough of his forces to create a sizable siege force. They don't have any siege weaponry, but they don't really need it if they have a dragon. So we will need to divide some of the foot soldiers' attention between the main infantry and the dragon itself.
Well, how many, including the orcs and the forces we have to volunteer for us, how many do we have total again?
So
Not including the leaders and
update me?
lieutenants.
Yes, basically, Gillian is going over what you guys have. Gillian's a paladin. The tiefling over here, he's a divine sorcerer. She's a cleric, and if you guys talk to Tristan, you could decide whether he joins you guys or not. He's an eldritch knight. As for the amount, we have we have a total of 8 people, so not counting the people sieging, we're just going to account for the 13 that came with you and the 8 orcs. That should be around 22 soldiers, if I'm correct. I might be wrong on that one, actually. Let me think again.
Speaking of which, I have 4 bear traps set aside. Perhaps we can put that in a more highly trafficked area for when they come.
You could always put it at the gates, if they even use the gates. With this battle, we are not really entirely sure what the dragon will do.
So are we meeting it in its lair, or are we going to be under siege?
Well, the dragon will be coming tomorrow. And I'm not sure how far away it is, but if you try to intercept it at its lair, there's a possibility that it will already be here sacking the castle.
I would also
Can't have that.
say that we have more utility here with the ballistas and the dragon pierces.
Agreed.
Oh, one other thing. The ballista, they'll take a little bit of time, but they can turn around. They're not locked into place. So
We
again,
also have area for it to fly.
Well, if legend has it, dragons always make sure they have enough room to fly even in their lair.
The advantage of flying is going to be paramount regardless, Janaz. It'll be able to fly no matter where we take him, or fight him.
It still wouldn't be able to be hundreds of feet in the air.
Where, though? It's...
Shao
The
Tan, can you do me a
Yes.
favor and roll a history check?
History check, or something?
Yes, a history check to see if you read up on how dragons set up their lairs, so that way you can possibly give them more information on how they might set it up.
I got a nat 20!
So
Let's go.
you are intimately aware with how, maybe not necessarily how blue dragons set up their lairs, but you do know that most dragons always make sure that they have at least 300 feet of space to be able to fly up and move around. They have multiple escape points, some upwards, some downwards. There's basically a lair is a massive death trap for anyone who faces them in it, because they have full control over their lair, and they also set up traps throughout the lair. They tempt with treasure and a bunch of other things along those lines. So fighting a dragon in its lair would be the most difficult thing a group of adventurers can do if it's not injured. And even if it's injured, it might just be as difficult as fighting it healthily out in the wild.
Quite a difficult task, nonetheless. I understand your worries, Janaz, but with something like this, it'd probably be better off to fight it here than to fight it on its own home turf. We don't know what sort of traps or mechanisms or even other creatures he's brought to his lair to fight us. So I'd say we weaken him as much as we can here at the fort, and then if need be, we pursue him to his lair.
Hopefully we'll be able to kill him here.
Hopefully.
I nearly died twice last fight, and that was just Charomang.
Yeah, but I will have time to prepare this time. Last time I didn't. This
I
time
will
I
also be
prepared well.
here. I wasn't there last time, and I have a plethora of healing abilities.
Indeed. We have quite the group with this time. Shouldn't be as hard.
Actually, on the side, we went straight from Charlemagne's place to here, so we didn't get. So we didn't rest at all.
So
right?
right now it's still midday. You guys dealt with him in the morning and like late morning. So you still have time to start prepping. You can choose where soldiers are gonna go. What I'll basically have you guys do is you figure out what groups of soldiers are going to be prioritizing infantry, possibly outside of the walls, and who will be staying within the walls. So the basic setup of it is right now is with our limited resources, you have to basically prep on what you guys may or may want to do. If you decide to stay here, you can try to go for the dragon, but as mentioned before, that trek could take longer than a day, and if you guys do that, there is a possibility that this fort may not stand.
I think it'd be best to take it here.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
And from the lookouts, are we expecting Andy Vidir tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow will be the 7th day.
Understood. I wonder.
Oh? Do we have
Trying
nets?
to. What was that?
He asked if we have nets. We have the dragon piercers. They're attached to a wire, or not a wire, but like a cable that can pull the dragon down. However, the ballista can only take so much strain before having to release the cable, so we can ground it for a time. The more dragon pierces that hit him, the more likely we'll be able to keep him grounded, but he will eventually break out.
I was thinking more along the lines of damaging its wings.
Here. And Spyra goes through her bag of holding and pulls out one of the hunting bear traps. I wondered, do you think this would be able to clamp down hard enough, perhaps to tear a wing?
You would have to see.
No.
I don't exactly know the durability of dragons. I do know that their resiliences are legendary normally, but I mean, I suppose that hasn't been tried before.
That was made for a bear, and it doesn't kill the bear. It starves them.
Well, it keeps the bear in place, which is basically what we need to do for this dragon.
Are you referring to a bear trap, Spyro?
By disabling a
Yes.
Oh, well, We'd have to...
Not a wing.
I think we'd need a much bigger bear trap in order to keep him still or clamped on.
We
I
could,
wouldn't... Hmm?
we could potentially, if we have the ability to, put it on its wings. After all, the protected area is mostly the upper body, rarely the rarely the wings.
I see what you're trying to do.
Right. So imagine, for example, I guess we can compare it as the bones within the bat's wing, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if we have a chance with its wings closed, if the bear trap clamps down two of the phalanges or the opposing or opposable bones within the wing structure.
That's a smart idea, but we still have the problem of the fact that it's, dragon bones compared to something as a bat or bird. Would we have a material that could possibly pierce its strong hide, other than the standard steel we have here?
Why don't you ask the smiths? They did bring up a plethora of magical ores and other things along those lines. Perhaps there's enough time for them to create some items for you.
The
Yes.
Smiths are here still?
Yes, they are. They will remain here until they will remain here. They are all capable combatants themselves, but they are going to be staying in the fort to make sure that the rest of the people are escorted out safely.
That is very good. I have a job for them then.
Yes. We can also speak to them about maybe tipping the bear traps in a sort of metallic alloy instead of making a completely new bear trap itself.
I would ask them to see what they can do and what would be most effective. Bear traps, despite them being a relatively cheap commodity, from what I understand, are still complicated enough to where you don't want to mess with the joints too much. But it's worth asking.
Oh, of course, but not the joints. I'm more so referring to the teeth of the bear trap. My apologies.
I would ask them. As for the shops, we still have the Magic Keep shop, and he's taken over the He's taken actually over the. He's been making potions himself, minor potions. He's not an alchemist like yourself, Vincent, but they will do.
They will do indeed.
If you have any other questions or suggestions, please do not hesitate to ask, and make sure to talk with everyone that you want to before finally heading in for a full rest. This might be the last time you see some of the people around here.
Yes.
Understood. Thank you.
So, again, you guys are free to kind of talk amongst yourselves. He's basically giving you guys full... Because he's gonna say... Let me actually have him officially say it. I trust you all. With our lives, you could have taken the artifacts and ran, so whatever your judgment happens to be, we will follow it to a T. Just let us know where you need me, where you need Elizabeth, and where you need Elizar. And of course, talk with anyone else that might be able to assist in our, who will be able to assist with us. You could always talk with Tristan. He's still on the border of whether or not you should stay behind or not.
Of course.
Yeah. Shelton,
Oh,
you're gonna
yes.
see Spyra draw out the
You're gonna see these
the
guys start going
visage,
off in there.
kind of like of a dragon wing, and look in the chat. Look in the dungeon tabletop chat.
Well,
Shit,
for
shit, shit,
that, Spirit, I'm gonna have to ask you
See?
to roll.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I get the idea. It's just more so dragons are built to be extremely durable.
They're built
so,
different.
Whereas, like where regular steel may it may clamp on, it probably won't pierce the webbing of their wings. Is what I'm saying.
Right, but
It's a
in this
stronger
case, it would act kind of like handcuffs if we keep those two bones together, preventing it from opening its wings.
Assuming the muscles and tendons aren't strong enough to just flex steel out of place. Yeah, remember, it is a dragon. like if you tried putting a gorilla in handcuffs, I'm sure it'll be able to break them.
A fair point.
So,
But
go ahead.
with a strong material, I'm sure we can have something set up properly to where we can restrain their movements. Maybe some mithril or adamantine or other strong metallic
You put a
substance.
gorilla in handcuffs?
No, I have not, Jonas. It was merely an expression.
Interesting.
Well, let's go talk to the Smiths then.
Yes, let's go as I follow her over to the Smiths.
I follow too.
As do I.
All right, everybody's going to the Smiths, or does anybody else have any other places that they want to head towards? And again, have any conversations with any side characters that you want to discuss anything, you know, because this could be the last time you might see some of them, depending on what happens.
One guy was kind of dead, so you know.
So these two are the other council members. They're gonna kind of be over here and over here. This guy's eating and drinking.
So up ahead.
So these guys are the Smiths. This is Jack.
Is Tristan large?
Tristan is large, yes. He's a big boy.
Big boy?
Like, actual stat size.
He's large, yeah.
Oh, hello there.
Hello. You see... Oh, hey. You notice, the other Smith is still quiet from the events that transpired earlier in the week. Orwell, he's just kind of hammering away. What can I help you with? Jack says, with a friendly smile.
Ah, yes, I was wondering what exactly we have to work with in regards to metals. Do you have anything that perhaps would be stronger than this? I'll show them the bear trap.
Okay, so he's gonna look at it for a moment. He's gonna evaluate the metal. He's gonna take maybe a couple minutes to kind of look it over. He's got like a little magnifying glass and iron. Well, we do have a little bit of mithril. Are you looking to do? Are you trying to code it? Are you trying to create a new one?
I believe the idea we would need is one made out of mithril, perhaps.
Or if you can't entirely make it out of mithril, perhaps covering perhaps making the sharp teeth and tipping them with mithril or another hard material.
I think we have enough materials to make a trap out of mithril. How many do you need, though?
Perhaps 2 for each
2.
wing tips. If we can't clamp the wings together, we can at least pierce the webbing to make his flying less effective.
Well, it depends on where you pierce it to. I've seen dragons with torn up wings and they're still flying at like ridiculous speeds, so you gotta be careful.
Of course, he is a rather big specimen, to say the least.
If you're looking for something, the thing that we're looking for, so are you trying to set up like is it like a bola with bear traps? Is that what you're trying to do? Where it flings in the air and it's supposed to catch its wings? Or what are we doing? Because I have enough for 2 and possibly a medium-sized length chain. But it's going to take us pretty much right up until the last minute to get it to you.
I guess we haven't really thought of that, have we, Spira?
Well, I was imagining as well, if one of us is dexterous or talented enough, I suppose, to throw the trap up with the chain, and then if it manages to stay attached to the dragon, we could take the chain up to him directly, if that becomes an issue.
Well, it's gonna take. I mean, Mithril's light, but it's still metal, so you're gonna need a good heave to get it up that high. My thing is if you can get my suggestion is maybe you have it launched from one of the siege weapons at some point. Maybe not now, not at the beginning, but possibly when it's a bit closer to the castle.
That would make sense.
It's up to you guys on what you want it to be. As I said, I have enough for 2 traps. I will be using up all my mithril, however, for it.
All the mithril?
All of it.
Troubles.
We don't have enough. We have been dependent on a sturdy supply line, which has recently been cut off.
I can gate one of you on top of the dragon with me.
Oh? On top of the dragon? Now that's a dangerous venture. Would you be able to get out of such a situation, Jadaz, if... Wait, are you even with us?
Yeah, he just walked in. He's
Oh,
You're
okay.
the only one that's
Maybe.
not with us.
Got it.
I overheard.
Oh.
You're pretty far from me.
There you go.
Okay, we're all here. Okay.
Listen, it's up to you guys on what you want to do with it. I'm more than happy to set it up. Me and Orwell really need a project to kind of get our minds off of everything that's happened this last week. Especially, with Orwell's son.
Yes. May he rest in peace.
If you're looking for upgrades for your troops there, again, it's going to kind of fall short. And also something to bring up, though, is Mithril's not indestructible. It might buy you a couple of seconds of flightlessness. So, for that, I'm basically for game talk. That means maybe a couple of rounds, maybe 2 to 3, possibly 4 rounds if you guys are lucky. The dragon's strength will still shatter it.
Oh, also, Clara bends down through the bag of holding and pulls out the great sword, the chosen one's great sword.
Oh, the lightning one? Or was it lightning? I think it was the lightning.
I don't-
Sword.
I
Let me
don't
look
know.
at his stats again.
I typed in just chosen one's great sword as a custom, so I don't know what it's made out of.
I'll just tell you
What
what
it
its
is.
what its ability was, because I remember we were talking about it. Somebody was talking about having its charm removed. Let me just actually...
Also have a half plate of fancy armor that could possibly be repurposed.
Oh. Guardian runes. Interesting. I mean, we could try to copy over the runes. This is gonna be a lengthy endeavor. If anything, you might just want to swap someone's armor with it temporarily, and then if we're all alive after this to celebrate, I can maybe get a custom. I can get a custom. What's the word I'm looking for? I can get a custom make for you guys. I could copy the runes onto somebody, but it'll take me at least the rest of the day to do so. To mass produce it, obviously, it's not gonna happen, but if we're looking for a temp fix, I could do that. It just won't be as strong as what these runes are capable of normally.
Understood. Wonder.
You also remember, if you guys do remember, you also have the gloves that Charlemagne had that allowed him to throw his hammer and bring it back, call it back to him. Those runic gloves, in case anybody wanted it. They're like heavy armor gauntlets, in case anybody wanted to use those.
I can toss my
Is
crossbow at
Dragon here?
people.
What was that?
The crossbow?
Is Rat
Okay.
here?
Rat's here, yeah.
Dargan. I'm gonna pull the sword over. Would you be interested in using this? Or do you know of perhaps someone who may be more well versed to use it?
The sword is lightning, by the way. It is a lightning greatsword.
Being aware of its effects, I'm not too sure of its usefulness on this particular foe. But you said it's a greatsword?
That one's a greatsword, yes.
Hold on. Yeah, the only one who uses greatswords was fucking Metallic's character.
Yeah, she's gone.
I think any one of us. Unless
Oh,
someone here.
Tristan maybe? What is Tristan equipped with, actually?
You
We should talk to
Tristan
him.
uses, I
His
believe he
axe.
uses an axe.
The fancy one. Remember, we saw it.
Perhaps someone within the fortress.
It's probably of much higher quality.
Yes.
Oh, are you talking about Tristan? Oh, he's got a weapon of.
No
He's got
offense,
like
of course.
He's got a relic, like you guys do. He wields that
I see.
thing. He's an animal with that thing. I've seen him in action one time when there was a group of bandits. He took them all on by himself with that axe and completely overwhelmed them.
Goodness. Sounds like the capable fellow.
Let me think. Would it be nature?
I mean, you could
I want-
try. I mean, it's a magical. It's like an arcane enhancement on the weapon. So magical weapons, most likely you want to do an arcane check if you
Okay.
have that.
So I have a plan.
Oh, he looks at He looks at Jernaz. What is that plan?
First, I need to ask if you have a certain potion.
Well, I'm not the right person to be asking that. That'd probably be Pimpleskin. He's currently handling the potions.
Yes, I was thinking out loud.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're gonna go over to Pimpleskin. Does anybody have any questions for the foundry, for the smiths? So right now, by the way.
So, question.
So what do you?
I don't know for the
nature check?
Smiths, but I still have the unicorn horn.
You do.
Can that pierce Dragonhide?
You're doing a nature check on that? It's a magical beast. You've heard tales that you've heard tales that unicorn horns are able to pierce some of the densest materials. You're not entirely sure if it could pierce a dragon's hide, but they've pierced quite an impressive amount. They've pierced through solid iron shields, mithril, and other things along those lines. So there's a possibility.
I'm gonna look over to the smith. Would you perhaps be able to attach some sort of handle to this unicorn horn here? That way it'd be easier to hold.
Make a dagger of it?
In essence, yes.
I could do that. I'll have Orwell work on the traps, and I'll work on trying to imbue this horn in there, and possibly even thin it out to make it more blade-like. So that way it's a little bit more, utility. Are you planning on using it?
Perhaps. If not, then we might be able to see who he can get on the dragon. Perhaps this will be good enough to pierce the wings.
It would have to be someone dexterous, swift, and cunning to do such a thing.
I feel there's someone that fits that bill precisely within our group.
Shall Tom?
I'm quite dexterous and cunning, I would say.
Oh wait, yeah,
Spirit,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
the new
yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah, what is Vincent? Well, he has a bunch of dexterity as well, but what is Vincent's
Vincent's
dexterity?
class is a rogue.
He's a rouge.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but how much dexterity does he have?
18.
Yeah, that motherfucker is
Oh,
dexterous as
so-
fuck.
I think just the same amount as me. Then I think. Yeah, we have the same amount of dexterity.
Yeah, but can you go invisible? I don't think he
No,
can
I
either.
can't.
I don't think
I don't know if
anybody
he
can.
can.
But he's stealthy.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I
the
know.
reason why we all went invisible before, is because Janaz had that dust of disappearance.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, you're right, champ.
If I can make a potion, I can go. If I have the
My
ingredients.
dust I kept from the first dungeon.
Yeah, the dust that you kept for the first dungeon that was actually very helpful, because it would have been really bad if he caught you guys with your pants down.
Yeah.
Oh monk.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna get to you in a second here then.
What was the potion I had got way back then?
Wow, fuck me.
I had gave it to the sorcerer. Then they left.
Oh shit, it was on Christmas? I actually still have her character there. Let me check if I can check her inventory really quickly. I mean, chances are she might have taken it with her, to be honest with you. I can roll a die to see the possibility of that, but let me just see what it is first to see if it's even of any use.
Potion of insta-kill dragon.
A potion of
Yeah, no, she
insta-kill.
kept it.
Yeah.
I'm just unironically curious.
Potion of insta-kill dragon. I like that.
I'm gonna need a lot of materials for that one, champ.
Or a potion of turn dragon into plant.
She never saved it on her fucking inventory.
Swag.
She was always working
It was
from
a
her
white
phone.
potion. Glowing.
White potion glowing. It might have been, if I remember correctly.
You know, it'd be a good combination. The freaking unicorn dagger and those gloves. That way it comes back to you.
Oh yeah, you could throw it.
Wouldn't you have to rune up the dagger?
No, you wouldn't have to rune up
No,
the dagger.
it's just
The rune-
the weapon
so
that's in your hand.
The way it works is that the.
We are paladin elbow dropping, okay?
Okay, so let me have him.
Oh
explain
wait,
it.
so the gloves just fucking do it with any
Yes.
weapon?
So the way those gloves work, as long as a weapon has magical properties to it. In this case, a unicorn horn would also have magical properties to it. It'll if you throw it, the magic will resonate with the glove. Now, the link can only last within 60 feet, so if
Well,
it goes
probably
out of that range, you may have trouble recalling it back. However, within that 60-foot radius, you should be able to retrieve the dagger back effortlessly, even if it was stuck in something. The magic is that powerful that it will just
Is recalling
rip
an
out.
action?
It's not. It returns on. It returns. If I remember correctly, the way it worked when Charlemagne used it is it just returns to his hand after he does
Free
it.
action?
It's not a free action. So the way it works is it's like a thrown. So imagine it this way. It's more like it's a thrown weapon that doesn't have ammunition.
It's a part of your attack action.
It's a part of your attack
with a
action,
throw,
so
and
you're-
it comes back.
Yeah, you throw it, and then it flies back into your hand, and that's the attack.
So you're saying that it works with any weapon that has magical properties?
As long as it has magical properties, yes. So that means Flame Tongue is another example.
So you are telling me that I can... Hold on, buddy.
And you can also use Charlemagne's hammer if you still have it.
Great sword thrower.
Oh, fuck. That's true. But I don't think you never gave me like the thing for the hammer, or was it just a warhammer?
I think
it a
what
special-
I'm gonna edit the. Well, it's a lightning hammer anyway. It's probably not gonna be very.
That's true.
I don't think it's gonna be very useful in this situation. But in any other case, if you want to use it in the future, I will come up with stats if you want to swap out your weapons.
Was it like a whole? Was it a one-handed or is it a maul?
It's a warhammer.
Is it-
Yeah,
Throw
it's just
the
a,
shield
it's,
to
Oh,
block
so it's like what I
projectiles
had.
for us.
yeah,
just enchanted.
it's one-handed. Yeah.
All right. Swag. What about my Bulwark of the Metallic Guardian? Can I Captain America that shit?
Frisbee.
If you want to test it out, sure.
Dude, hold on.
So
Intrigue.
let me actually go ahead and just
Frisbee
create
of death.
a custom item, because all the gloves do is they allow you to recall items. That's it. They don't add armor. They don't add anything. The only thing that they allow you to do is they are basically like gloves of recall. Basically, I would call it that, and just state that you can recall an item if you throw it within 60 feet. Now, mind you, your weapons may or may not, it depends on the size of the weapon. Like the dagger could be thrown 60 feet, but now because the sword's a little bit heavier, that's probably going to be a 30-foot throw. You know what I mean?
Damn it.
And then if it's a great sword, most likely you're not going to be throwing that.
Throw a great sword with both hands.
You throw a great
Yeah,
sword
you
with
still
both
get
hands,
big
it's still,
disadvantages.
yeah, that'd still be a big fucking heave.
Heave ho!
Nah, he's a paladin.
I'm still like mad interested.
I mean, 30 feet's still good though.
Yeah, I could throw it at something that
Like
far
you-
away.
if you're-
Might
if you're
from
like-
80 feet by throwing a great sword.
It has to be melee. Thrown weapon attack will not account unless there's a specific. I'm not even sure if there's any feats, because I know in other
That
versions
would be
of the
the
game.
funny.
Yeah, in other versions of the game, there used to be feats that allowed you to do a smite from a ranged attack, but I do not think that exists in D&D 5e.
Sadly, it doesn't. Yeah.
That would be fucking swag, though. Alright. So you said gloves of recall?
Yeah,
Or would they
just
be gauntlets?
gauntlets of recall. They don't add anything to your current armor. They just match up with your plate or whatever armor or whatever heavy armor you happen to be using.
Plus 10
Did,
AC.
did Charlemagne have fancy colored armor or not?
His was a lighter bluish color.
Okay. I did.
And you can always tint your armor that color if you want to. But
I was actually gonna say that I want it to be adjusted to what I'm wearing now. But later probably. I don't want to.
yeah, for right now, you just have like slightly bluish tinted metal gloves or gauntlets.
Hello.
Excuse me.
Oh, there you go. Manage inventory. I4
Yeah, just add that. Just remember, so small weapons. So that means daggers. Daggers or anything. God damn it, penis. Yeah, of course. Or anything along those lines. Those can get thrown, and then
What did I loot off Charlemagne? I
Charlemagne.
don't remember, lol.
You got the hammer and the gloves. That was it. I don't think there was much else you guys pulled off of him, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got the fancy
You got the
shoulder
great sword
plate
and the shoulder.
and the
Yes.
great sword.
Shoulder plate.
Yeah, it's half plate fancy armor. So I
The
typed down.
rune armor that they were using to teleport towards
Oh shit! Yeah.
the swap places with Charlemagne. You guys have a copy of. I think you might have.
I have 2 of those.
You have 2 of those. However,
Damn.
I think they're both half plates, so that would be a significant downgrade for the 2 characters currently wearing the heavy armor sets. If they're looking to keep their armor class high.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
And I don't think I want to TP into an attack.
Yeah. So, actually, in the meantime, so I think we've been kind of talking and flirting around with the gloves, the gauntlets enough. Jernaz, for a lightish yellow, what did I... Actually, I think I took a... remember when we were doing the item emporium? I think that I based it off of... Eventually, I based it... So let me look for the... Because I still have something here. Item cheat sheet. Just want to find... this would be... It might have been a potion of fire breath, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's a potion of fire breath.
Doesn't matter because they have it.
Yeah. It would have been a potion of fire breath. But it is something that you could ask for. So you're gonna approach Pimpleskin, and he's going to look up. Ah, hello again. I'm glad to see you're in one piece. Whew. What can I help you with?
Yes, barely.
No, we all have our bad times, but I think we'll be okay. Well, hopefully. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Would you have any potions available? I'm specifically looking for something that can break a large fall.
Break a large fall. Ah, we're looking for a potion of featherfall. Let me see if we have it in stock. Let me see. Usually...
2 would be ideal if at all possible.
Alright, let me just double check here, and I believe you guys got a size... No, you didn't, because you guys weren't able to loot too much. I think you guys got like I think 800 gold or something from like one of the characters there, but that was about it. Oh, okay, my keyboard disconnected
He's
itself.
still selling it in these conditions.
That was weird. My keyboard disconnected itself. I was wondering why I couldn't type. Let's see. So it's a first level spell. Let me see if I have something for you. I apologize. I'm just looking through. It's not a very common potion, if you could believe it.
No, I dropped the pointy one. There it is.
Alright. Okay, so let's see. You know what? It's comparable to this. So how much would this cost? Oh! I do have one. I don't have 2, unfortunately, but I do have one. That's 200. I can give it to you for 200.
200 gold pieces.
Well, it's to kill the dragon. I can just not kill it.
Well, you have to understand that after this, we're looking to try moving things forward, and we are going to be, we might be forced to evacuate this position soon, and we'll have to start our lives over again somewhere else if things really fall apart. So, usually these potions usually go for 400.
Ugh, fair enough.
I appreciate it. He gives you the potion after he receives his payment. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Can I view what potions you have?
Ah, yes. We should have a couple of greater healing potions left, maybe at least 4. And if I remember correctly, because I know we gave you a couple, if I remember correctly, we might have a potion of heroism. Typically that would go for 180, but again, I'm gonna heavily discount it to do it down to 80 gold.
Potion of heroism? What does that do?
A potion of heroin.
Potion of Jesus.
What would that do?
Harem.
Let me actually.
Is it like the same as my heroism spell?
I believe so. Let me just double check it again because I actually have it on the item cheat list here. When you drink this potion, you gain 10. So basically, when you drink this potion, you gain more life that's not your own, and you basically feel the effects of like the bless spell. So basically, you're given 10 temporary HP, and given the effects of the bless spell.
Which are?
Let me just double check it for you here. Let me see if I can actually use this thing. Come on, baby. Yeah.
Also, the potion of feather falling doesn't exist.
No, it does not. I had to make it on the spot.
Why
Bless.
doesn't it?
It's just the way the game works. DMs can still create potions and shit. As long as it's a magical spell, I'm sure that there's a potion of it. It just takes longer to transmute them. So, bless. You bless up to 3 creatures. Now, in this case, this won't matter. It's an individual creature. Whatever target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 to add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. This is something that lasts for on the potion, it says it lasts for 1 hour.
How much does it go for?
The potion?
Yes.
He's selling it for 80. It's typically 180 under normal circumstances. So he took 100 off of it.
Sounds useful for my intent.
All right.
Here.
So he takes the payment, and gives you the potion. All right. Is there anything else that you might want?
I think this will do well.
All right. If you need anything, of course, come back to me before the end of the day. I'll be more than happy to provide you with anything else that I may have. All right. Spyra, I noticed that you were walking over to Tristan.
Ah, yes. Hello, Tristan. How you doing?
You see Tristan's like pulling out a freshly baked loaf of bread. Spyra, I feel like it's been forever since we've had a good conversation. How's it going?
Well, it seems like everybody's working like busy bees, getting everything settled up.
Well, this is about the 50th loaf of bread I've had to make today with the remaining rations, he says as he slides it into a pile of, like, steaming bread. It still won't be able to feed everyone, but hopefully if they reserve and save it, they can ration it amongst themselves. Anyway, is there any specific reason you came over to my neck of the woods?
I just wanted to check up and see how you were doing. I know we've all been very busy.
Oh, I'm surviving. I'm a bit upset that, that tiefling gal kind of just vanished out of thin air, but, you know, things happen.
Yes, I was actually going to bring that up. It's a shame. I know you two got pretty close.
Yeah, well, it wasn't meant to be. Otherwise, other than that, I've been working overtime making sure that the food is on par with what I usually cook. And using whatever rations we have left, I've tried to prepare everything. Today, we're running pretty much almost empty.
Yes, the bread does smell pretty good. I was wondering, would you feel more comfortable being on the inside of the fort or heading out with us?
Well, I'm more than happy to go where I'm needed. Be honest with you. If you feel like you need me more as a guard for the civilians in here, I'll happily take sentinel duty. But I wouldn't mind getting my axe coated in that dragon's blood.
Mm-hmm. By the way, it seems you sport a very fine axe there too, actually.
Yes, this is an item of conquest, he says as he pulls it out, and you see like this intricately designed blade, as if the axe head itself is made of like crystalline ice. Let me actually. People call it the. Let me just get the name of the item. The Great Axe of the Frigid Fang. Said to have been. Let me just read this. Said to have been created by the frost giants up in the northern realms of Millennia. Centuries ago to fight a great battle. It's served a good purpose, to put it lightly.
Yes, very, very impressive piece of work. Going to look back over, call out, "Hey, Shelton!"
Huh? Yes.
I was imagining that it'd probably be best to have Tristan up in the front with us. Or do you think he should be better off inside the fort?
Really? Well, we're already taking quite a lot of people here to man the front lines. Who else is here to protect everyone in the fort? As he kind of thinks back, remembering who's here. Would there be anybody else?
We've got two of the council members. They are both powerful. They're both powerful. One of them is a powerful spellcaster in his own right. The other one is a knight, much like myself, but a bit more specialized.
Well, I sure wouldn't mind a nice hunky fellow like you with us in the front lines. Nothing like a white dragonborn to show the blue dragons who's boss.
Especially considering that particular blue dragon has such an animosity towards my kind. Maybe having me on the field could act as a helpful distraction at points.
True, but I would want a good friend like you to be simply more than just a distraction.
Well, if I recall correctly, he says as he looks into the hallway, I think we got another one, he says as he kind of waves Dargan in.
Yes, Dargin, our bronze dragonborn friend.
He's probably going to be targeting him more than he is me.
Indeed. Why? Working with dragonborns, it reminds me of the good times. As he kind of smiles and reminisces a little bit.
Well, hopefully it doesn't end the same way, though. We'll get through this, one way or another, and I'll make sure that I'll keep as many of you alive as I can.
As I promised my friend, as he looks at his bow, I'll ensure that I don't lose any more of you than I have to. But I'd say for the time being, I would love for you to join us on the front lines. But other than that, for now, continue making the food for the people who live here. Don't leave that.
I'm almost done anyway, and we could discuss where you want me ultimately when the time comes.
As I've heard, the plans have been kind of splitting the troops between focusing in on the infantry that might be coming in and the dragon itself. You want to know my suggestion? Usually, putting more people on a dragon is a bad idea. You want to have your most specialized and best capable warriors on the dragon.
Agreed.
For one thing, they are able to take a hit a little bit more, but also a little bit better, but also they'll be able to dish out a bit more damage, and dragon won't have as many targets when he breathes his breath attack.
I agree. If we're splintered apart and not grouped up, he'll have less to focus on.
Something else of a concern is,
Shelton, what's your athletics?
I'm sorry, continue.
He's asking about. Well, so Janaz just asked you about your athletics. The outgame.
Oh, for Shelton? His athletics? +4.
Yes. Okay.
I would also state that anything could happen with this particular dragon. He's cunning, from what I understand, and I'm sure you already understand it completely, but for the rest of you, don't expect everything planned to go the way you planned it. Fighting a dragon's dirty business, and dragons come up with their own plans as well. They're intelligent.
Thanks for the advice. We appreciate it. Oh, and Dargan, actually, what's going through your mind?
Determining everyone's usefulness with this fight. This foe poses quite the challenge. The group is capable, but the added worry of the citizen creates trouble variables.
When it comes down to it, our main job, ultimately, is when it comes to the citizens, we won't have to guard them directly, but we gotta make sure that this stands against the dragon. It's sturdy, but, not sturdy enough. If I remember correctly, this thing has taken a walloping before, and the walls are kind of weak from the last time that's happened. The concern is, as long as that central area there, he says as he points towards the atrium, there's a underground tunnel entrance in there. People can start going into it, but it's going to take time funneling them through a relatively tight corridor, and people in various states of panic and God knows what else. Gods know what else, excuse me. Could slow things down. So as long as the dragon doesn't have its way with the fortress, I think we should be able to get everyone out safely, if needed.
Hopefully, yes.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to discuss with me before I get back to work?
I believe that's all I wanted to address. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for coming over and having a chat with good old Tristan. I've needed some company for a while now, he says as he gets back to work.
What a kind fellow.
Very much. I'm gonna walk outside. Just kind of think.
I gotta talk with this blacksmith fella here.
Oh yes. Sorry. So go ahead. I should have done that while we were all focused and fixated on the blacksmiths. So Vincent, you approach Orwell. He kind of looks at you and he.
What can I help you with?
I know that my companion has already given you and your companion quite the handful on working, but I was wondering if you could spare some time to make me this. He'll pull out a piece of paper from his coat and show him the schematics for the bolt, for the special bolts.
Mm-hmm. This don't look too difficult. It might take me a little bit longer than normal, but, yeah, I could do this. I should be able to do this in the bear traps as well.
Very nice.
How many are you gonna need?
If you can make me a batch of 15, that would be wonderful.
15.
He looks at the intricacy of it again and then looks at you.
15 should be good. It'd be cutting it close, but I should be able to get you 15.
Very nice. I don't believe you've been paid for any of this yet, have you?
I've never met you before, but the people that you're with, they're good people. And, I owe them a lot. So, this one's on the house.
Wow.
I am not them,
Okay.
nor do I know you correctly, but I will not have a craftsman work for free. That is something I do not stand by. Here, take this, and I'll hand him 500 gold.
He'll take 250.
Yeah.
I'll take. Actually, no, I don't think. Would that actually be the cost of these bolts? I forget what What did we sort it out as?
We didn't sort it out at any price.
Ah, shit.
Oh wait, I do believe it was like a.
Because we were talking about the average
maybe
bolts.
5 gold a pop.
Yeah, it was 5 gold
Ooh.
a pop, so 15. Right, 5 gold for the custom ones, or was it
Yes, because the normal ones
Because the
cost
normal ones-
3 gold.
3 gold?
Oh wait.
So 5 gold a pop. So yeah, that's too much money. He's not gonna accept 500 for it.
No, I was talking about 500 for the whole thing.
Oh, for
all of
everything.
the order.
Oh, okay. He'll take 350 then, and he'll just keep the rest. I'm sure you'll need spending money afterwards.
Right, the potential. You said that Pimpleskin, what's his name, was making the potion?
Pimpleskin has a few potions. He only has a couple of HP ones.
I don't care what he has.
Alright.
Where is this Pimpleskin?
Pimpleskin's back here.
Very good. Thank you. I'll walk into Pimpleskin's office, quote unquote.
You walk past Tristan, you go over.
Pimpleskin, get the fuck out of my workspace. If you want to help me make potions, fine. Give me poppy seeds and the flour. Else,
Ow!
I do not need you.
Holy shit, man! I was just holding the station. Here.
Very good,
And he
and
gives
I'm
you,
taking
and
over.
he gives you. He also is like, he's like, fine. Oh, also, after what we agreed on, I'll take about 10% of what you make from the potions because I was helping man it. So here you go. He gives you, what was it? Omega gave him 200 plus 80. So he takes 28. I think he takes 28 gold from that.
Cool.
And he gives you the rest.
Nice.
And he walks away.
Very good.
So you go ahead, and so you're going to be spending time making potions now.
Yes.
Like I said, you have enough for 10 poppy potions. You have, and what other potions are you looking to make?
I'm taking the half pint of Aquino's blood and making it and thicken it so I can make it into a salve kind of thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna spend my time on.
Okay. All right. So that's what you're going to be doing. All right. So, Spyro, you're in the courtyard. You guys are in the blacksmith. So before we move on from the blacksmith, anybody have any questions for the blacksmith? Rovid, I know you've been pretty quiet, so I'm not sure if you wanted to interact with anybody.
Yeah, is there anything I can upgrade about my armor?
You got full plate that you've added to your character, right?
I think so.
If that's the case, that's the
I got
highest tier.
splint armor.
What was that?
I got splint armor.
Yeah, so that's the highest tier of normal armor. The next upgrade would be magical armor, but you don't see too many magic. Like they're running low on magical items right now.
Yep.
So you won't be able to get an armor upgrade necessarily anytime soon.
Alright, fine.
Okay, and then is there anything else you wanted to talk with anybody specifically or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, Dargin, do
I'm
you
a
have?
quiet observer.
Okay, Dargin, do you have anybody that you've wanted to discuss anything with?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Jernaz, do you have anybody who you wanted to interact with? Oh wait, I think he said BRB. Okay, so Shelton, is there anyone you want to interact with prior to moving forward?
Man, I'm not even certain, to be honest. I've kind of talked to everybody I wanted to.
All right.
Talking to the leader, talking to Tristan.
Remember, oh, by the way, everybody, remember, you still have 2 other councilmen. You have to figure out what you guys want to do with the council members that are going to be joining you for the fight. Because remember, there is that matter as well. That like who's going to be going to the front line, who's going to be sticking with you guys to face the dragon.
I think the paladin should join his people on the front line to fight the infantrymen who are going to be with Andy Vadir. And the cleric, should the cleric be with us or the people?
He should be with us as we're most in need of his healing. Because we're probably going to be dealing with both the dragon and his main forces. Unless Andy is so smart to send like...
Well, remember, the
people,
the ogres, and the paladin council member are going to be fighting his units.
Oh yeah, then... yeah, then
Sorry,
send the cleric with the people.
You send the cleric with the people?
Yeah.
And then have the council member with us?
Yeah.
So with the people.
We have 2 paladins, then we don't need a cleric. And we have me who has also ranged
So
healing,
you're keeping.
and
So you guys are
Spirit.
keeping Galen. Galen.
Galen, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and how about the sorcerer?
Sorry, fuck, I forgot we had him. What kind of spells does he have?
You can ask him.
What's his name again?
His name is... Let me get it for you again. Oh, of course, I backed out of the wrong thing. Cool. His name is Ilazar.
Elazar, my tiefling friend. What sort of spells can you cast? Is there a specific school you specialize in, or?
Well, I have the divine soul, so I do have some divine casting capabilities, but I also am rather proficient in fire magic. I'm capable of, to put it lightly, I can cast Scorching Ray, Fireball if need be. I can also cast Slow to potentially slow the beast down. I also have a couple of smaller range teleportation abilities to keep myself out of danger. And other than that, I have my staff with healing healing spells, as well as these prayer beads that I can use to also heal us if needed, and potentially even summon an ally if, well, given the right circumstances.
Of course. Well, sounds quite useful to me. Do you think you'd be better on the front lines or with us?
To be completely honest with you, I don't think that having me on the front lines would be a good idea. Most of my spells have an area of effect. A dragon that is 100 feet in the air is not going to hurt anyone if I launch a fireball at it. But if I launch a fireball in the middle of melee combat, that might actually end things very quickly for us.
I understand. Quite right. Then maybe you should stick with us then. Along with your cleric, along with your paladin council member.
Yes, of course, Gillian will stick behind. You don't want to keep Elizabeth as well?
Who's Elizabeth again?
She's the cleric.
Yeah, no. Oh, wait, no. She'll be staying with the frontline units just in case they get injured during the middle of combat.
All
Her and
right.
the orc should be able to assist them with any sort of utility or extracurricular skills they need.
All right, that's fine by me. And ultimately, if anything else comes up, I can, you know, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some of our troops back in here in time before it's too late.
Indeed. That I do agree with. Wholeheartedly.
I want to ask a very important question as well. How do you plan on starting our engagement? Do we want to stick behind the walls with the ballista and try to draw the dragon further closer, or do you want to be out there in the field? Heavens knows what the dragon will do if he sees the courtyards undefended, but it's up to you.
If he thinks we have a weakness in our defenses, he might even come closer, exposing himself to more danger. Still a risky endeavor nonetheless.
Well, anything with a dragon's a risky endeavor from what I understand.
Indeed, but there are ways we can mitigate this with planning and proper skill.
Do you
I'll have
do you have good knowledge on how blue dragons typically strategize, or no?
I'd say I have quite a bit of knowledge, considering I've dealt with him in the past, in more indirect means.
Well, as long as you're able to plan around anything that he could do. Again, we owe you a lot for sticking around. There weren't many people who wanted to stay around here after they found out a bloody blue dragon showed up at our doorstep.
Of course, he'll do anything he can to strike fear in those strongest around him, or, I should say for his case, who he considers strong, which would be us and the council members.
Indeed. Anyway, I don't want to
I'll
hold you.
Back.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Shalton?
Back.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I'll have to speak with
Also
the
welcome
rest of
back.
my party to ensure that we effectively deal with him.
All right. Well, I'll leave you to your business then, and make sure to regroup and start discussing what you need to do, and we'll start setting up soldiers in the proper places.
Yes. It's getting quite late. Be sure to get some rest.
I'll do my best.
Who is going to lead the front line?
The front line for the soldiers? I'd say the
The
orcs
soldiers,
can.
yes.
Oh, then I'd say the orcs, followed by the volunteers, followed by the cleric.
So,
They'd love the chance to just fight some more blue armored individuals.
So what we are dealing with currently is, as we discussed so far, is we have a few
Okay,
people.
then I will ask the priest to sign in my tome.
Okay, so you're gonna talk to Elizabeth then? Yes.
This one?
Yep, that'd be Elizabeth.
Could you sign here?
Sign? Sure. It's very rare when I get an autograph. I have to get an autograph request. She says, a little flattered.
He says nothing and scribbles something down.
Okay. So she signs you said your notebook?
She hears in her head, so I can communicate with you.
Oh. I mean, let me actually see. Does she have... Because I think she does. I think actually all of them do.
I can now cast sending on them whenever I want through writing.
Oh, I gotcha. All right. That's fine. Is there anything else you want me to do for you?
You can send a message back, so I'll try to keep things organized if possible.
Of course. So she'll...
Thank you.
Yep, she'll send a message. She'll make sure to, like, you know, she'll make sure to keep you updated on what's going on the front. Let me just make sure.
Well, she can only send it back when I send one.
Okay, that's fine. Cause so basically,
and it needs an action.
Yeah. I just need to get everything.
So long-range message.
Yep.
Even across planes.
Oh, wait, actually, speaking of which, how long of a range is message again? Let me just double check. It's 120. Yeah, it's 120
Infinite.
feet. It'll be... Well, no, not sending. Message. Message is 120 feet. Yeah, you would need something like sending, because she might actually be a little bit out of your range after a little bit. Depending on where they are.
Yes, it casts sending.
Yeah. So let me go ahead.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant. No, I know what spell you're using. I just wanted to double check it. I was just double checking message itself, because I wanted to see how long the range was, basically. Alright, so let's have these guys over here. Alright. So, you guys are... So, do you guys want to join up with Spyra in the courtyard and start discussing final plans and before you guys decide to take some time to rest?
That would likely be ideal.
Okay. Alright. So you guys all gather in the courtyard. You see Spyra's already been there. Spyra, what have you been doing this entire time, by the way?
Been looking along the walls if we have any points, weak points of entry. But I imagine... So for the orcs and the soldiers, we need to assign them posts within the walls or outside the walls as well?
So it's up to you guys. If you want to use the 13 and the group of orcs as your front line to prevent infantry from approaching the gate and just making it that the dragon is forced to kind of enter in and deal with you guys themselves, you can do that. Or you can... There's a couple of other things that you can do. You can have them man... you're going to have guys in here anyway to man the armaments, such as the catapults and the ballista as well.
Yeah, it seems like we already have one to each of the ballista and the catapults.
Are we
So
fighting
that
it inside
seems-
the keep?
And imagine we'd be fighting outside.
Perhaps, yes.
That would be ideal if my plan works.
Okay. So then, what I'm gonna do is actually, let me go ahead. I wish I could just like do this on a mass select thing. I'm gonna give you guys control.
Arjun, you're tough, right?
That's you, Dargan.
I suppose, yes.
I'm gonna give you guys all players. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys control over these guys so you can move them around how you want to see fit. Just because I have to set them up on the actual...
Would you mind if I used you as a projectile to bring the dragon down?
Quite the bold plan, but I suppose I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I can gate you above.
And what would you propose I do once I'm above it?
While they're having that discussion, does anybody want to do any remaining checks to think
I will
about.
hex its strength and use my barbs to prevent it from being able to stop you from knocking it down. Hit it hard in the head, it might stun it down to the ground.
The effects, if that were to work, would be quite noticeable, but if it doesn't, I'm stuck on the back of a blue dragon, one that is quite angry.
Oh, so I gave
Best
you
place
guys...
to be. No breath can reach you on its head.
I am going to give you guys control over the Orcish forces and the 13 knights that came with you. Because you're going to be able to... I want you guys to move them to where you guys think you want to have them. Or
Got
where
it.
you're ultimately going to be positioning them. I will also see if I can remove the walls, so that way you guys can see the betterment, like the better part of the battlements as well. Let me see if I don't have... If I don't end up deleting, like... the actual, like, keep.
The betterments.
Deletes the
betterment.
map PNG.
Yeah, right? Alright, so there we go. So, that's the walls outside of them. So, something also... So, outside of that, does anybody want to do any knowledge checks, prep checks, anything like that, to get a better understanding
The gate
of...
is a natural choke point. The ballistas can keep them in. Or out in our case.
Hey Monk, I DM'd do something.
Oh, let me see it. Let me check. Right, I have stream mode on, so I can't see shit.
We can't really afford to lose out on the siege equipment, so the gate must be held. We have ways to anchor it down as well as bring it down. Karki knows.
Oh, let me see. So I gotta... Karkinos, you there?
Not foolproof.
Yep.
But at very least we beat it back with less forces.
Just do it a second. Okay. Oh, my keyboard just got disconnected again. Okay, that's so weird that it's doing this. Alright. So I think that, I think Janaz was going to ask you a question. I'm not sure. So, oh yeah, and you had a question on what's the plan. So, what is the plan so far, everyone? Are we agreeing on anything yet? Let me actually, you know what? Let's go around. So we just heard Janaz's proposal of plunge attacking the dragon, right?
Yes.
So
yes, we did.
we heard that one. Let's go around everybody and give me a plan that you think might work or you can build upon with another player's plan if you like and agree with it.
We've heard mine.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's go around. What we're gonna do is Karkinos. I want to hear yours.
Yep.
Just to start.
So,
So just to give you, okay, so let me actually go ahead and fresh start everybody though. We have 13 troops that are free and not manning siege weapons, that are normal humans. We then have the additional 8 orcs that are also free and not manning any weapons. They can be placed anywhere you guys want. There might be upwards of potentially 40 not well trained Sapphire Scar Knights approaching the walls when the battle actually starts. And then there's obviously the dragon. Scouts have told you that there are no elite members of the Sapphire Scar Knights remaining, so that means that basic infantry, as long as they're led by somebody of significant skill or competence, should be able to hold them off for long enough that, for long enough for you guys to deal, or not maybe, well, to help you, it'll help you deal with them versus the dragon.
Yes.
You also have, right now, I think it's kind of been agreed on that Elizabeth will be that main force to kind of keep people in the front together and heal them through any damage that needs to be, that's being dealt to them. As for the other 2 council members and Tristan, they will be remaining with your group wherever you happen to hold off or try to draw the dragon into. The siege weapons each can be moved at an angle. So, like, if these ballistas, let's say he does get into the courtyard, the ballistas will need a turn to turn around and face the dragon. Because it'll take them some time. It'll take their full action to turn around, and then they'll be able to fire their next turn. You guys will be in control. You guys can basically shout out to the ballista men if you want to keep one on the outer wall, one on the inside, just in case. It's up to you guys. Otherwise, the ballistas will take a little bit of time. The catapults can be used to help the infantry if you want, or it can be used to target the dragon. They can fire from medium to long range, meaning that if the dragon is close, they can still fire within like 50 to 60 feet without any issues.
So then,
Not bad, not bad.
what if we have these 2 facing inward? Or one of them facing inward just automatically? That way we don't have to worry about turning one.
Archers should be our priority. Once we can force them into melee, we can clump them up for catapulta or ballistas.
Well, he got one good archer right here.
Where can they reach? Like, because the span of this is 230 feet?
Oh, they
They
could fire off well, like pretty decently far. At least, let me see here. Ballista. These are big, heavy-duty ones too. Oh, that's even more than that. Hold on. Sweet Jesus. They could probably reach to the edge of the road.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So they have range.
Hey.
Let's go ahead and have this one spun around. That way it's facing inside.
I'm actually gonna go because those are actually part of the map. Let me go ahead and. I wish I'd set up the ballistas earlier, but I'll actually. What the fuck are these ballista? These look horrible.
And these are able to reach over the wall, or do
They're
these
able to
need
reach over the wall.
out?
Yeah, they wouldn't be back there if they couldn't. They are able to arc over the wall as well. So let me actually go ahead and it's like showing like a weird like scene of it being inside for whatever reason, but yeah. I just couldn't find one that was by itself.
Another thing I noticed is we have some windows, so just covering all bases. These will be boarded up.
You can tell them to do that. Let me just actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Maybe not here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and I've got another map I'm working on. So you just tell me how you guys want things to look, and I'll have it set up the way you guys want it to look. So that way, when we get to that map, everything's prepared and ready to go.
Coming.
You said the two on the side, right, Spirit?
What, for the windows?
No, the ballista.
Yeah, just have this one. Well,
I can't see it right now because I'm on the other map, so just... Oh, actually, no, wait. I can look at the other map. I can look at the one. That
what do
one...
you guys think? Should we have two of them inside, or just one for now? Shelton, Dargan?
You're talking about for the ballistas, right?
Right, right.
If we can move them near the front where we can actually fight them when they're approached, that would be best.
So then we can keep
God,
this
my
one
mouse
inside,
is-
and then this other one we should
God,
pull
what the heck?
forward.
1 second, my mouse is acting funny. I need to refresh. The one at the bottom. So they're hanging on like on top, right, DM? Like on top of the.
They're like... They could be moved out of the wall if you guys wanted to move them out of the wall. They're just protected by the wall.
And this is the only avenue of approach on the. Like this road here is the only avenue of approach.
Yes, the road
This road
there is the only avenue of approach.
By
You guys,
ground, at least.
by ground, yes. The dragon can obviously fly overhead. But,
How long would it take to move it? Like, not too long, right?
if you're doing it in combat, it will take a long time.
That's to say we do it right now, so we don't have to worry about that later.
Yeah, you can probably move them outside before the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, yeah. We'll have it near, like probably like around. Wait, I can't see my. Like probably like around here, so it can still like engage targets over here, maybe to assist the frontline troops.
So you
they're
want to
gonna be
have it
out-
out? You want to have it outside of the walls?
Just the one, maybe,
Just
just so they have
one.
fire support. Just the one, while the other ones are going to stay inside. Shoot at the
Do you
dragon.
want it to be equipped with the dragon piercer?
I don't think that'll be necessary.
Not
The
for
ones
that one.
inside, yeah, the ones inside
you want
are
the
priority.
dragon. Okay.
Yes.
So as for the rest of them, what are they doing?
The Orgers, well, they're going to be manning.
Well, not the orcs. I'm
Oh.
talking about the ballistas right now. Let's focus on the
Oh,
ballistas.
apologies,
What are the
apologies.
rest of them doing? Do we have two facing inwards and the rest facing outwards, or do we have... How do you want to do it?
Just the one facing inward.
Just one facing inward. And which one would that be? Just point it out for me.
I guess this
Bottom
one, since
one?
it's right here. The bottom one? Oh, okay.
The bottom
Yeah,
one?
I'm zoomed out all the way out just to make this
No,
easy.
I can see it. I was just no, okay, that's fine
Yeah.
because
For
we can
people
use
who-
all of these ballistas, right?
Yes, all these ballistas are going to be manned, and they are under
oh.
your direct command. So they will do what you ask.
Oh, then I'm fine with that. And these catapults are just for show.
Catapults are not just for show; they are
We
movable
can
as
have
well.
2 left, 2 right.
Oh, then I'd say yeah. There's no need to take the ballistas out. Then yeah, we'll have the catapults come out like one here.
There are
One
5
here?
ballistas.
Yeah.
We don't
Well,
need
what
the catapults out if they can already just go over the wall.
Well, true. Yeah. So that shows less at risk. I guess you're right.
Catapults are longer range than ballistas.
They are yes, they are.
Yeah, because they
They
are.
just don't have any anti-dragon
And lob.
infantry.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. I'm fine with that. I have no disagreements with that. If we
I
can
mean,
use all
well,
of them-
obviously a fucking lob of whatever the fuck these things are firing is gonna hurt a dragon. I'm not saying it's not.
yeah,
but
no, of
it's-
course. That's what I'm saying.
I
The
don't want
sooner we
it to. I
can-
don't want it to knock the catapult's usefulness.
Of
I
course.
just want you to understand that these are, they don't have any special ammunition for them.
Yeah, no.
So
of
then
course.
keep
My
the
goal-
ballista in.
Yes, but have it face inward. I guess what Spirit was talking about.
All of them, or just
Too
the
bad
one?
Spiro
Ju-
blew
just
up
the
the
one,
special
just the
ammunition
one.
LMAO.
Yeah, just the one. So the rest of these 5 are facing outwards.
Oh, actually, Okay, Spirit, what do you think about this? The one that's facing inward will have a Dragon Piercer, and one facing outward a Dragon Piercer. Just in case Andy Vadir decides to come outside or comes outside, we at least have one thing that can target him to slow him down.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Spirit, Dargan, everybody?
Do we only have 2 dragon piercers?
So you have a total of 10.
Oh,
The thing is, we don't
never
want
mind.
the dragon inside the walls.
True, but if he comes, well, he can fly. If he comes inside the walls, we still have a way to deal with him.
Yeah.
And how long does it?
Overhead.
Yeah, and how long does it take to load a Dragon Piercer?
Dragon Piercer will take 2 turns because they're heavy.
We need to drive it off if it comes into here.
It's heavy ammunition, so basically it'll take 2 turns. It'll take them 1 turn to put it into the ballista, then another turn to load it, and then it could fire.
All right, man. Executive decision here.
The
top-
catapults can give it a good headache with some good aim.
True. Okay, so executive decision here. We have 3 ballistas facing outwards and 2
If it
ballistas
dares
facing
come
inward.
inside,
The 2 ballistas facing inward will both be equipped with Dragon Piercers.
Okay.
Because obviously that's what he's going to go for. He's not going to hang outside and deal with fodder. He's a blue dragon. He wants to show off his power to the people who he believes are the most like his adversaries. He wants to attack us directly.
or we taunt him out.
Yeah,
Cool.
or we're like already outside of the walls too.
Is that what we want to do?
Are you guys going to be outside or inside?
That's the big question, I think.
Since ballistas have such long range, I don't think it would be a problem if 2 faced
Yes,
inwards.
But we dig
Exactly.
trenches.
Both could shoot also outside, but from different points of the fortress.
We need cover from the breath.
Uh-oh.
Well, our cover is our limited numbers. Remember, we're gonna fight him in small numbers, but be sparsed around him, so that if he does have to target somebody, he can only target like 1, maybe 2 people
Or we can make physical cover
at a time.
with bricks
Yeah,
and
I
shovels.
guess that could be an idea, but where outside are we going to fight him? Because remember, he can still fly and move. He can just move around to cover, or, God forbid, look straight directly down at us while we're in the trench.
So
He's going to be
dragon-
moving. He's going to be mobile.
so
The
those
dragon can't
dragon
hover.
piercers.
The dragon can't hover? What? What?
Oh, someone's sleeping. Rat!
Ratman!
We can move in circles faster than it.
Then it can fly? That's... No.
I don't believe so.
I don't... That's no.
You...
Yes,
It
has
can
much more
float with
distance
its
to walk.
wings. It just has to flap in place.
Or
Of course
fly.
it can hover. You said
We
a
can
dragon
run
can't...
around.
Does anybody want to do any knowledge checks on a dragon for me? For the love of God, I've been asking you guys for like
I don't...
arcane
I
checks,
think that's general knowledge.
Arcane?
arcane
Am I
checks,
there?
history, anything.
I'm dog shit with Arcane. I'm fucking.
No. That would be general. That would be general knowledge. With Sauton knowing about dragons and Dragonborn, he'd know a dragon could simply flap its wings in place and while it's in
Well, no,
midair.
that's
to
what I'm
shoot
saying
downward
is
at
that
something.
just so that way we can confirm it, so that way everybody has a
Of course
baseline
a-
understanding.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course,
I
a
should also
dragon can
also
hover
ask
in
if-
place. What?
Well,
Am I
about
there?
the dragon
Cover
piercers,
won't hurt.
could they be used as a harpoon?
The cover, in the end,
So, Jernaz,
will not make our position worse.
dragons
It will.
can hover, stay
And
in
it
the
has a
air,
chance to save us.
strafe attack, as well as come down. And some dragons have been known to burrow. You don't know which ones, but some dragons are capable of digging under the ground as well.
That's scary. I didn't like it.
So the trenches and dugouts can be useful against the other frontline units for the people who are volunteers, but it's not going to be of any use to a dragon. I agree with you on that statement for it being useful for the volunteers when they're fighting other troops. Say
Having-
they have archers and lancers poking out from the trenches, but against the dragon, it's a null subject.
Am I there, or am I using the rest of the night to make potions?
You can come out during this period of time. You've been in there long enough. You brewed what you needed to. They've been talking about this for some time, Vincent.
Out of sorry, this one more little statement and example. Out of game, think of a helicopter floating above you with a 30 mil cannon, right? You're inside of a trench. Once it's above you, you like that cover is more of a hindrance than it is a help. Now, say if it's far away and it's trying to shoot at you, yeah, it's gonna do some good, but not at that range.
So, I am done brewing. Shelton, I might have something interesting for you as well. What
Oh.
are you discussing?
Oh, we're discussing tactics to fight Endivadir and his forces.
Oh, I see.
That's all.
Anyway, thanks to Kakinos' blood, I was able